Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Saturday, the 17th of April 2021. I see in the news Purdue, or researchers from Purdue University in Indiana, USA, have developed a whiter than white paint, an extremely white paint, that paint that is so white that it reflects most of the heat, up to 98% of sunlight being reflected there, much more than normal white paint. And they reckon that it's so reflective that it can actually have a cooling effect. It can cool, possibly, as a paint of a house paint or something, might actually be able to help cool the house inside. As someone that lives in a very hot country, we have right now we're having 34, 35 degrees every day here. That would be a wonderful thing. Would cut down on our bills, and would be great, because the amount of air conditioning that's used, if it could be cut just a little, would be a great benefit for the environment. Of course, what they don't mention is about the materials, and if these materials can be actually excavated or mined or whatever I'm not sure how they obtain them, but if the paint can be manufactured in a way that is environmentally friendly and doesn't cost too much to the environment in that way. And of course, it's very early stages, and I'm always very suspicious of these kind of press reports which announce scientific advancement or discovery, but they turn out to be very early stage and completely impractical. But let's hope not. Let's hope it is actually something. Okay, today is Saturday, and accordingly, that is expert level day according to the Guardian. So if you're an expert, welcome. If you're a beginner, a very quick rundown of the rules. Each column that you can see on the grid here needs numbers 1 to 9. Each row needs numbers 1 to 9, and each of these boxes needs 1 to 9. If you need more explanation of the rules, watch another video somewhere. But really, those are the rules in their entirety. And so we normally find numbers by, let's say, looking at this 3 in this column, which blocks these two numbers here, and this 3 blocks this column here. So in this segment here, there's just that one space where a 3 can go, so we can fill it in immediately. Also down in this box, I see we have a 4 here, which blocks these two squares in this row, and this 4 blocks this square here. So in this column, which still doesn't yet have a 4 is blocked from these two squares, and this 4 blocks it from here, so that has to be a 4. So that's our first couple of numbers pretty quickly on our expert level quest today. Just going to look at the missing numbers for this column, since we've only got 3 missing. I believe it's 5, 8, and 9. Yes. Okay, 5, 8, and 9 are missing. Okay, so 8's got to be up here somewhere. This could be 5 or 9. Can we tell yet? Not yet. Okay, what else is missing down here? 2 and... Okay, so this 2 blocks this square here, 2 blocks this square here, so that's our 2 there. Okay, giving us 5 and 9, which we can't really tell for the moment. Okay. There's a 1 in this row here, 1 in this row here, 1 in this column here, so that's our 1 up there. And now that we've done that 1, we can bring it down this column, this 1 down this column, this 1 across this row, so 1 fits in there. This is just a basic elementary Sudoku technique, nothing complicated needed as yet. We shall see later on whether we need to do anything more complicated. We probably will as the puzzle progresses. Okay, seeing quite a few pairs as usual. But not seeing any kind of definites as yet. Excuse the break for silence. Never mind. It's a contemplation time. Oh, okay. So I think I'm just I've already hit a point where I'm going to need to start filling in some candidates. I believe I don't really see any other easy numbers. So why don't I go about that? So okay, so let's fill in some ones that I see. So we have one across here, and one down here, leaving these two options for candidate 1, and down here one across, and so that one down here, so it leaves these two places for a pencil mark for 1. Now if you've just started playing Sudoku and wondering what's happening, well, sometimes we can't quite place a number, but we can limit it to fewer options, and so if we can do that, then we put in these pencil marks. And in my case, if it's a pair, I put it in the top left. Other people have other systems like underlining or whatever, but I tend to put them in the top left, and indicating that's one of a pair within a segment. Okay. Alright, so 2 is a pair here or here, because 2 blocks along here, 2 blocks along here, and 2 blocks down here. So 2 will appear eventually in one of those 2 squares there. And this 2 blocks this square here, and where did I see it? Oh, actually, I have found a number that I missed earlier. 2 blocks this column, 2 blocks this column, so that is in fact a 2. I looked up there before and didn't see that. How weird. Strange. Okay, so 2 blocking at this column, 2 blocking at this column, and 2 across this row now gives us these 2 possible locations where a 2 can go. Okay, what's next? 3s, we have this 3 in this column here, 3 in this column here, so these squares are blocked by these 2 3s, and there's a 3 across the middle, giving us 3 in those 2 locations there. And that's about it for pairs. I mean, we can restrict. I mean, there are actually going to be 3s along here as well, but we can't place it. We can't narrow it down to a pair at the moment, so I'll just leave that until a bit later. That's my way of doing things, anyway. Okay, 4s. This 4 blocks along this column, this 4 blocks along here, and this 4 blocks down here. So we'll fill in the 4s there. And there's a pair of 4s here, 4 blocking here, 4 blocking here, and a pair of 4s there. And 4 blocking this column, 4 blocking this column, 4 blocking this row. So a pair of 4s in those 2 locations. Okay, any more we can find easily? 5s, well, we are quite limited on 5s, as it seems. There aren't any in. There's only 1 5 in the whole puzzle, so we have to. There's not really much we can do about that for the moment. Let's move on to 6. 6 is clearly a pair in these two squares. We have 6 blocking along this column, 6 row, sorry, 6 blocking this row, like so, 6 along here, but nothing that will give us a pair there. Here we have again 3 numbers, 3 spaces that could possibly be 6, but there's nothing else. 7, yes, we know 7 has to appear in this column, okay, because we don't have it yet, and so 7 is blocked from this square, but must appear in this column, so that's a 7, like so. Okay, where else? Okay, nothing else is actually incredibly useful. Right, 8s. Now 8s are going to block along here, so 8s have to appear in this column here. There's 8 blocks. That square there, so 8 has to appear there or there, and up here, if we kind of just keep going, we'll see the 8's blocking these 2 squares, so 8 must appear there or there. 8 blocks this square here, so we have this square is not available for 8, this square is not available for 8, and so 8 must appear in one of these 3 squares. We have this 8 blocking here, and so 8 will appear here or here. So, and down here, aha, now this might be useful. 8 blocks down here, we have 8 across this row, 8 across this row, giving us a pair of 1 and 8. Now when we have a pair like this, 2 things: we know 1 and 8 can't appear anywhere else in this box or in this row, and we also know that no other number can infringe. In other words, everything else must be outside. Does that help us any? 3 along here, any intersecting 3s up there? Not yet, no. 4, 5. 5's not going to be very helpful. 6 down here, 6 here, no. 7, no, not very useful anyway, I think. But let's continue on then in that case. So of course we can fill in a pair of 9s here, because we need a 9 in this column, and we have a 9 intersecting here, so that's a 9 and that's a 9. Here we've got a pair of 5 and 9. Let's fill that in now. Okay. I believe I've seen something that I don't usually spot this early on. Let me just check. We've got a lot of varied numbers pointing at this particular square here. Let me just see. Okay, let's eliminate 1. It's not a 1. It's not a 2. It's not a 3. It could be a 4, because we penciled that in already. It's not 5, it's not 6, it's not 7, it's not 8, it's not 9. It is a 4. Okay, that's lucky. Okay, so we can get rid of candidate 4 here as well. That's something, I suppose. Will that help us out? Not a great deal, but it is something anyway. Okay. What is the missing number here? So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 5 has to go in this column here. We can't yet identify as a pair, but let's put it down here to remind ourselves, or rather me to remind myself. And the missing number here is 6. We don't know where the 6 goes yet, but we can put a 6 in there just to remind ourselves, and we'll deal with it later. Right, where else? See if that 4 has done anything to help us, but not really. No. Okay, so okay. It appears I'm going to have to put in more candidates. What's missing along here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a 3 on 9. Does that help? 3 on 9. 9 could be in any of these 3 squares, and we don't have any information over here just yet. So no, that's not really helpful either to know that. Alright, I'm going to have to fill in more candidates. I'm not sure where the best place to start is, but let's just deal with this bottom section. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't yet have a 6. 6 is the 6 blocks along here, like so, and no other information. So 6 is a possibility in those squares. 7 blocks along here as well, and that's it. Nothing else will give us a clue as far as I can see. Ooh, it's drawing some strange 7s today. 8 we have, and 9 has to be in one of these 3 squares here. Since we have a 9 blocking down here and down here, looks like I'm going to run out of ink. Over here now, 3 blocks along here like so, and that's it. Yeah. So 3 places where that can go. For 5 blocks along this bottom row and nowhere else that we can see. 5 is a rare number today. 6 blocks down here and along here, so there are 3 possible squares for 6. And that's true for 7 as well. 7 blocking down here, 7 blocking here, so 6, 7. Almost looks like we're going to get a triple in there, but we can't quite. And 9 can appear anywhere except for this 1 or 8 pair here, so 9, 9, 9, 9 and 9. Ah, okay. So at least we do have a 5 and 9 naked pair here, so that means 5 and 9 can't exist again in this row. So we can get rid of candidates, any 5 or 9s that appear in this row, leaving us with 7 and 6 here. Oh, okay, and now we have 7 and 6. Oh, good, good, we've done something useful now. Now that we have 7 and 6 in this square and this square, that's good. We also have 7 and 6 and 7 and 6 here, which means 7 and 6 can't appear again. So, if we can't have 7 or 6, that has to be a 2, doesn't it? Okay. And so now we can eliminate the 2 here, and the 7 and the 6, leaving us with a 3 and 9. So now 3 and 9 is a pair here. That's good too. Although actually we have 3s and 9s up here already. We can at least get a 2 here, because 2 blocking along this column, 2 here, 2 along this row. So that's our 2 here. We previously had a pair of 2s here, so we can fill in the 2 there. We're overwriting an 8, so we can get that 8 now. That's good. Down here, 1 or 8. That's a 1. That's our 8 now. So let's see what we're left with. 9, 3 pair here, 9, 5 there. That's okay, 7, 6 there. That's looking good. Okay. And this is, let's move that a bit more tidily. 3 and 9. 5 and 9, 3, 9, 7, 6. Okay. Here we had a pair of 1s, so that's our 1 there. And we can remove candidate 1, this candidate 1 there. Right, I feel like we actually did something useful there, so that's good. Actually the 2s are now finished, aren't they? The 3s and 9s, is that going to be any help? Not particularly. No. The 1s, no, they are also complete. So, right, I need to be looking at new digits. So since we've got a couple of numbers up here, has that improved our chances? Yes. Okay, so 3 across this row, 3 across this row, giving us a 3 here. Okay, that's great. Now we had a 9 or a 3 here, so that's now got to be a 9. And that's got to be a 3. And that's got to be a 9. Okay. And this one here is a 9. And that's our 5. And so this one is a 5 here. So let's get rid of the candidates that we can't use now. So this 3 has now gone, the 5 is gone, the 9 has gone, 7 or 6 still a possibility here. But look, when we leave us with 7 or 6 here, again we're back with a pair, right? Or here if you prefer. So whether we think about it this way or that way, 7 or 6 cannot appear in this square anymore. So we get rid of 7 and 6. We have a 9 we can get rid of. We have the 5 we can get rid of, leaving us with just a 3. Okay. And now there's 3 up this column, 3 down here. So 3 is there. Okay, 7 and 6, 7, 6, 7, 6. Okay, it's looking good. There's only one number missing here. Is it a 9? I believe it is. Yep. Okay, that's a 9 there. This is a 9 here because 9 blocking here, so that's got to be a 9. Over here we had a pair of 9s. That's our 9, that's our 7. The last number in that column is a 5 now. Okay, that's substantial, I think. Substantial progress there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. This is 9 now, of course. 9 blocking here, 9 blocking here, so that's our 9. That's our 8. This now has to be 8 here, okay, because 8 blocking up here. This is 5 and 7, and that's 5 and 7, but we can't, that won't give us anything just yet. Should we look down here for something productive? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we don't yet have. 5 can't come here, but it could come in either of those two squares. 6 and 7 block there, 6 down to this. Okay, no, not going to tell us for sure just yet. This 4 blocks along this column, giving us a pair of 4s here. Candidates there. Meaning, of course, that that 4 can't exist any longer. And 4, therefore, is in that position there. This is a 5 or 7. That's a 5 or 7. 5 or 7. No, it's not going to help us. That's got to be a 5 or 7. Lots of 5s and 7s here. Maybe we'll have to do some kind of technique using pairs later on. Let's see. I think we will actually put in these 5s and 7s. There are a lot of them around, these 5-7 pairs. So it may help us see something later. Ah, pen is dying. The missing numbers here are 5 and 6, I believe. Where else do we have pairs? Okay, so what's missing here? 1, 2, so 4. Vendors have arrived again. Okay, 5 is a pair here or here, as it blocks this eventual 5 blocks this square here, and this 5 blocks this square here, so blocked and blocked, and 5 blocking here, so 5 is a pair in those 2 squares there. 6 can go wherever it likes. I've just realized 6 isn't blocked from any square in this central segment here. 7, well, is limited to, okay, so 7 blocks here, 7 blocks here, and 7 blocks here. So 7 is a pair here and here, like so. Oh, is this going to turn out to be a single 6? I think it is. 8's, okay, 8 blocking down here, 8 blocking, yeah, 8 here. So 8 is a pair here and here, like so. And let me just count through and make sure that's the last number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, it is. So that's a 6. Okay, that's got to be an 8. That's got to be a 6. That's got to be a 4. That's our 8 now. Okay. And let's get rid of some spurious candidates now. So 8 is no good there. 4, this 4 is blocked now. 4 is now a pair here or here, right? Okay, the 6 doesn't exist anymore. So, alright, okay, so now we have 7 and 4. 7 and 4. No 4 allowed here. So 7 and 4 has a matching pair or naked pair or whichever you prefer. So that 5 can't exist now. And this will have to be a 5. And so if that's a 5, that's a 6, that's a 5, and I guess that's it now with all our 5s and 7s everywhere. I think that's just about over. 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5. Is that right? Okay, I think we're alright there. Now let's see. Down here, the 6 can't be, so that's a 7, that's our 6, that's our 7, that's our 6, that's a 4, that's a 6, that's a 4 because we have 7 here already, that's our 7, and that is it. Okay. Well, it's not, I don't think it's really an expert level puzzle, but it was certainly, for me, it was like a bit of hard work. It's not easy level. It's either medium or hard. I assume I will call it as either a medium or hard puzzle. depending on your previous previous experience, I guess. Thank you. Join us tomorrow for the Observer Sudoku, which doesn't grade its puzzles but can sometimes be tricky. Subscribe to the channel and see anything that's happening around regarding Sudoku. Thank you very much. Bye bye.